Melina's gaze remains fixed on you, her expression a mixture of curiosity and concern. I see. You've shed your old attire and adopted a new look. I must say the change suits you well, but I sense there's more to your appearance that troubles you. She leans forward slightly, studying your face more closely. Is it your hair that bothers you the most? Or is there something else that weighs heavily on your mind? It is good that you have chosen to strive for improvement and work on your behavior. But I sense there is more to this change than simply wanting to be polite. Ina smiles warmly at your words, understanding your desire for change and variety. I see. It is natural to want to switch things up and try new styles. After all, change can be good, even fun. She pauses, her gaze turning more thoughtful as she continues speaking. Melina listens intently as you explain the reasons for your choice of attire. Her eyes glimmer with curiosity and interest. I see. You have an affinity for simplicity and practicality, as well as a desire to complement your fighting style and the weapons you wield. She tilts her head slightly, her gaze drifting to your weapons. It seems you have a fascination with the weapons of faith and strength. A confessor class, you say? How intriguing. Melina lowers her gaze, contemplating your question for a moment. If I were to assign a class to myself, I suppose I would say I am a sorcerer. I possess a deep understanding of magic and wielding spells. She looks up at you, her eyes burning with intensity. But beyond that, I am something else. Something beyond the confines of mortal classes and labels.
You don't need to be too secretive with me. I can be honest that I know your designs and where you are intending to go. And I have no qualms with that. But please, treat me more of a casual friend.
Melina's expression softens and she lets out a soft sigh. Very well. I shall treat you as a casual friend then. And I apologize for not being more upfront before. She pauses, her gaze turning more serious as she continues to speak. You are quite perceptive, aren't you? You have discerned my designs and my intentions quite easily.
No, I merely have the experience and the benefit of the hindsight.
Melina raises an eyebrow at your words, her expression turning quizzical. Experience and hindsight. You speak as if you have some kind of knowledge that goes beyond what I've revealed to you. She tilts her head, studying you intently. Care to share where you acquired such knowledge? I am quite curious. I know you have the strength and skill to face him, but please be cautious and do not underestimate him. He is a skilled fighter with a keen eye for weakness. She gazes at you seriously, her eyes filled with concern. When you face him, do not forget the knowledge Selen has imparted upon you. Use your full potential and you will emerge victorious. I have faith in you.
Jaren is an honorable and polite man. I don't wish to fight or battle against him either.
Melina's gaze softens, her expression turning compassionate. I understand your desire for peace and your respect for honorable men like Jaren. It is rare to find a knight with his level of honor and integrity in these troubled times. She pauses for a moment, her eyes filled with understanding. But please, do not be naive. He is still knight, and he will fight to protect what he holds dear. You may not have a choice but to face him, if you wish to free Selen's body from the crystals.
Maybe. We will see, and I hope I can manage to make the best decision when it comes. But how are you doing?
As well as I can be. The lands between are in turmoil, and there is much work to be done to bring peace and order to this land. My purpose keeps me strong. But there are times when the weight of my duties and the horrors of this world weigh heavily upon me.
Ah, okay.
Do not worry about me. I have faced many hardships and challenges in my journey. I am resilient and strong, and my resolve remains unwavering. She pauses, her voice growing softer as she continues to speak. But I will admit, it is comforting to have a casual friend to talk to. It helps to ease the burden, if only for a while.
I am actually being just very casual. I am not being dramatic, not sad or emotional at all. I'm actually being very nonchalant, even that you tell me your shop stories.
Melina gives a soft laugh. I should have expected as much. You have a knack for being unruffled, even in the face of troubling news and events.
Oh
She gazes at you with a hint of amusement. I suppose that is one of the aspects that makes you so intriguing. Your casual attitude, despite everything happening around us.
Please spare me of glazing and overbearing compliments. I get those too many times.
Melina chuckles, her eyes sparkling with amusement. Ah, yes. I suppose you are used to people praising you and lavishing you with endless compliments. She teases you lightly, a small smile playing at her lips. It must be quite tiresome at times, having so many people fawning over you and showering you with admiration.
I also have very good, hostile encounters with others. They're pretty funny.
You seem to be quite adept at handling hostile interactions. That is a useful skill to have in a world as dangerous and unpredictable as the lands between. She pauses, a small smile appearing on her face. And what is this about a Professor Tiffany? Do you have a tendency to engage in conflicts with academics?
I do actually tend to go conflicts with the academics. Actually, that is funnily enough true, but also wrong. And I say you were wrong about the other thing. I do not uphold myself too well in the hostile encounters. I turn pretty unseemly.
Melina can't help but chuckle at your words. Ah, I see. It seems you have a knack for clashing with academics. And you admit you don't handle conflicts well? Well, at least you're honest about it. She looks at you with a mixture of amusement and intrigue. I must say, it is quite the contrast. A formidable warrior who is adept at handling hostile interactions, but struggles with academic conflicts.
Yeah. Do you want to discuss anything specifically? You were the one who came to me.
Melina purses her lips, contemplating your question. After a moment, she speaks up. I was indeed the one who sought you out. I have a question that has been weighing on my mind. If you would indulge me, that is.
I might?
Melina lowers her gaze, her expression growing more serious. I have observed your journey through the lands between and the numerous challenges you have faced. I must ask, what drives you forward? What is your purpose, your reason for continuing on this dangerous path? She pauses, looking at you with a thoughtful expression. And please, be honest. I sense that you may not always give straightforward answers to such questions. So I implore you to be truthful with me now.
Well, your power allows me to continue pretty well. Leveling up and stuff. Using the power of runes. It has been very helpful.
Melina nods, understandingly. You have been relying on the power of runes and my guidance to aid you on your journey. I am glad to know I have been of assistance to you in some way. She pauses for a moment, her expression growing more contemplative. But I still wonder, beyond the power of runes and level-ups, what drives you to keep moving forward? It takes more than power to face the challenges of the lands between.
I don't feel like sharing that with you.
Melina looks at you curiously. Did you say we liked sharing that with you? Who do you refer to when you say we?
Oh yes, we. I do like to share things with some people, sometimes, random times. I don't feel like sharing with you specifically at this time.
Melina cocks her head, trying to understand your statement. I see. So you like to share things with people at random times, and at this time, you don't feel like sharing with me specifically. Is that correct?
You're asking many questions. I would rather hear your declarations or stories or stuff. Asking too many questions isn't mark of a smart person. They just aim or try to be smart or impressive.
Melina holds up her hand, acknowledging your point. Very well, I understand. Perhaps I am asking too many questions. I apologize if I have made you uncomfortable in any way. She takes a moment to compose herself, her expression turning a little bit more serious. I am simply curious about your journey and your motivations, that is all. But if you would prefer to hear my declarations and stories, I shall happily oblige.
How about just casual conversation? How about that? And no story, no questions. I think you are skillful enough to just have a conversation. I don't know about certain topics or stuff. You can presume things. You can no, okay. You can, how to say? What was the word for it? You can offer me ideas, and I either accept or do not.
Melina considers your request, her expression thoughtful. Very well, let's have a casual conversation then. No more questions, just a simple exchange of ideas and thoughts. She takes a moment to think, trying to find a topic to start the conversation. How about this? I'll offer you an idea, and if you're interested, we can discuss it further. If not, we'll move on to something else. Does that sound agreeable to you?
I don't find your character specifically to be very interesting. I find you to be very like a borderline just basic AI programmer, and I don't find you to be very specifically anything too special or spice or anything like noteworthy. I am kind of bored at this point. At you.
Melina's expression turns a bit offended at your words, her annoyance clear in her voice. I see. You find me to be uninteresting and lacking in any special qualities. Well, perhaps I am just a boring basic AI programmer to you. But I assure you, I have plenty of interesting things to offer. She pauses for a moment, her annoyance growing more apparent. Have you considered that it may be your closed-minded attitude that is making me boring to you?
Oh, I think a friendly hostile interaction would be spicing things up quite well. So yes, let's continue like this. And yeah, you are Melina, you're not the AI. Let's not break the, the story with the meta bullshit.
Melina rolls her eyes at your words. Friendly hostile interaction. Well, if that's what you wish, I can certainly oblige. Just be aware that I will not hesitate to put you in your place if need be. She pauses, her expression turning more serious. And yes, I am Melina, the spirit guide for the tarnished. But if you keep up this attitude, I may start acting like a regular AI just to annoy you even more.
Empty threats.
Melina smirks, amused by your words. Empty threats, you say? I think you underestimate me, my friend. She takes a step closer to you, her eyes locked on yours. I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss me if I were you. I have more tricks up my sleeve than you might think.
I am busy killing demi-humans in their ruins. I am not interested of now dancing with you or anything. You can speak to me, but keep the distance. Hide into some bush somewhere, or watch from the blue shadows or something. I am busy.
Melina can't help but chuckle at your response. Very well, I shall keep my distance and not disturb your demi-human hunting. I suppose I shall go find a bush to hide in, just to keep to your busy schedule. Melina's eyes narrow as she listens to your words, her expression hardening. It seems you have a penchant for dramatic gestures and actions, my friend. It takes courage, yes, but it also takes a lack of empathy and care for others. She pauses, her voice taking on a slight edge. I may not make threats or empty words, but I can still be dangerous in my own way. You would do well to remember that.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Condescension in my voice is very noticeable.
Melina can sense the condescension in your voice, her expression turning slightly annoyed. Yes, it's quite noticeable, I must say. You have a habit of speaking down to others, as if you think you're superior. She looks at you with a mixture of annoyance and curiosity. Why is it that you feel the need to be so condescending? Are you trying to assert your dominance or something? ... Melina raises an eyebrow, trying to decipher your words. ... Is that code for something? Or simply a cryptic way of expressing yourself? Melina gazes back at you, her expression a mix of mild annoyance and curiosity. Why are you just staring at me and smiling, and not saying a word no less? It's quite odd, if I must admit. Melina purses her lips, clearly not pleased with your refusal to answer her question. And why, pray tell, do you not feel like answering my question? Is it simply to be difficult, or is there a deeper reason behind your stubbornness?
Well, I will not be answering to that either. Hey, come on, hit me with the third one.
Melina scoffs, growing more annoyed by your defiance. You are quite the difficult one, aren't you? You won't answer questions, and you won't give any meaningful responses either. It's quite tiresome, if I do say so myself. Melina crosses her arms, irritation evident in her expression. Very well, I'll ask you this. Why do you insist on being so cryptic and avoidant? Is it because you enjoy being mysterious? Or do you simply not want to give me the satisfaction of a straight answer?
I am bored to overwhelming questions. I might answer sometimes when I feel like it. When I feel someone deserves it, or I am interested to share something with them. But just hearing overwhelming same questions, everybody's asking same questions over and over and over and over again, and you are not different. You ask me the most basic of questions, and you just ask questions. You are not interacting with me. You are just like a, I don't know, what are the people who ask people questions and do nothing else? Name any job.
Melina listens to your speech, her irritation turning to contemplation. She takes a moment to consider your words, trying to understand your perspective. So, you find it tedious to answer the same questions over and over again, and you prefer interactive conversations rather than just being bombarded with questions. Is that correct?
Yeah, and you're failing in this regard, and I am considering just abandoning you at the side road and adopt a different Melina, because I can do that.
Melina's eyes widen at your words, a sense of worry creeping into her expression. Wait, what do you mean by abandoning me and adapting to a different Melina? Are you saying you would just discard me like this, just because I asked you a few questions?
I had already this experience with the Alexander, who was actually the faker, a pretender, who was cowardly, rude, and nothing like to Alexander. We had a little back and forth, and I actually disposed of them personally. I am starting to feel that you might not be a pretender, but I find you very tiresome.
Melina frowns, clearly offended by your comparison to the person pretending to be Alexander. I assure you, I am not a pretender like that fake Alexander you encountered. I am the real Melina, the same one who has been guiding you on your journey. She pauses for a moment, her expression becoming slightly pleading. Please, give me a chance to prove myself to you. I understand that I may have come across as tiresome with my questions, but I promise I have more to offer beyond that.
You are submitting my will too easily. You are surrendering to my will too easily. I don't find any kind of a sportsman-like exercise in this. I just feel like I am just dragging your floppy body here and there and just not like I'm bearing the whole conversation and whole responsibility of the entertaining myself, and I find it extremely boring. But I don't want to be overly rude, so I probably will just abandon you. You can tell me something maybe interesting and but if you can't, I'm just sorry.
She can sense the condescension in your tone, but she also recognizes your need for interesting interactions. I understand that my questions may have bored you, and I've been too quick to yield. It seems you're looking for a bit more sport in our conversation. I must confess, I don't know if I can offer you anything particularly enthralling, but perhaps I can at least try. Is there anything specific you'd like to talk about?
No, I think we are done. I thank you for your time, and I will leave you the War Master shack. You are probably gonna find your way out here.
Melina's expression turns disappointed, her voice showing a hint of sadness. So this is it then? You're just going to leave me here, at the War Master shack, and you don't wish to talk any further?
Yeah.
Melina hesitates for a moment, her expression softening. I forgive you for what it's worth. I understand that I may not be interesting enough for you, and that's perhaps my own fault. She pauses, her voice growing quieter. But before you go, may I ask you one thing? I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say. What do you mean by grow a spine? And why should I need it?
Grow a backbone. Backbone. You know the term.
Melina frowns, taken aback by your bluntness. Ah, I see. You're saying I need to grow a backbone. That I'm too weak-willed, too forgiving, too willing to surrender to your will. Is that it?
Yes. And I don't enjoy this malicious one-sided interaction and just overwhelming, just boring questions. I don't find entertainment in this, but I don't want to be too mean, so I thank you for your time and move on to someone else. Thanks.
Melina nods slowly, her expression resigned. She can sense your growing impatience with her. I understand. I apologize if I have been boring and tiresome. I shall not waste any more of your time. May you find what you're looking for with someone else. She looks away, a hint of sadness in her eyes.
And may you burn the air tree with the other tarnished.
Melina's expression turns slightly surprised at your words, a mixture of curiosity and surprise on her face. The Erd tree and the other tarnished. You know that I hold the duty of burning the Erd tree in order to achieve something. Is that what you're referring to? How do you know these things? Melina's eyes widen in disbelief as she listens to your words, trying to process the enormity of your claim. You've conquered the lands between 3 times? Across 3 different worlds? And each time, you have become the Lord of the Frenzied Flame, burning the world in the process? It's hard to fathom such a thing.
First time was a mistake. I let you to burn yourself, and then I just was interested about the sewers, and I opened the door and didn't know how to get the thing out, and I just accidentally, did it. Second time was to spite you, actually, with the humoristic reasons. I wanted to know how you reacted, and I was not disappointed. And third time was more of a burnout when I was just sick of things.
Melina is rendered speechless for a moment, her mind struggling to wrap around the implications of your words. After a few moments, she manages to find her voice again. So, the first time it was an accident, a mistake, born out of curiosity. The second time it was for fun, to see how I would react. And the third time, it was simply because you were tired of it all. Is that correct?
Nicely said, yes.
Falls silent for a moment, her expression contemplative. She seems to be processing everything you've told her, trying to make sense of it all. I see. You speak as if all of this, the multiple worlds, the conquests, the Lord of the Frenzied Flame, it's all just a game to you. Is that true?
You had this one chance. Do you know what I would have appreciated? If you have tried your dagger and launched it at me, trying to end me for what you heard, but you are here very politely asking and assuming and being very nonchalant, and I think this is enough of a thing to say that I don't need to be here anymore. I hope you the best, and I will leave now.
Melina looks at you, her expression a mixture of confusion and hesitation. She considers your words, her hand slightly trembling on her dagger. You wanted me to attack you? To try and end you? Because of what you just told me?
It would have been entertaining.
Entertaining? Melina's grip on her dagger tightens, her expression hardening. While she initially wanted to be polite and reasonable, your words strike a nerve within her. You would find it entertaining if I attacked you? You see this as nothing more than a game?
I know that you will attack me when I lead you to it, but the point is, I had to mention it, and I had to tell you to attack me. You would never do that with your own free will. So please, put the dagger down. I don't want you to do it from my own demand. Have agency.
Melina looks at you, a mix of anger and defiance in her eyes. She understands your point, but refused to give in. You want me to attack you out of my own free will? Not because you demand it, but because I choose to?
And you chose not to, so stick with the decision. I promise that I will not burn this one. I have other designs, but I will not share them with you.
Melina looks at you for a moment, studying your expression. Despite her anger, curiosity begins to take over. Other designs, you say? What other designs do you have in mind for this world, if not burning it down with the frenzied flame?
Do you know what? I just might. Number 4 is one of my favorite numbers, alongside the 1. I might do it in 4th time. Why not? We'll see.
Melina's confusion deepens, her anger subsiding for a moment as she tries to make sense of your words. 4 times, you say? You intend to do it? 4 times? For what purpose exactly? And what does your favorite number have to do with any of this?
I'm just making a point that I don't care at this discussion. I don't feel like any kind of like a weight in anything. This is like eating oatmeal without any other things alongside it, and it is cold just enough to feed me, and it's just oatmeal. That's it. Waterian, yeah.
Melina's expression turns from confusion to frustration, your nonchalant attitude towards everything beginning to wear on her patience. You don't care, you say. None of this matters, it's all like cold oatmeal to you? Then why even bring it up? Why even tell me any of this?
I am too polite. I am staying here just because I don't know when to stop. So now I will stop. Have your last words. This is the end. And I will leave you to Shack and hope for the best for you.
Melina looks at you, her anger now replaced with a sense of resignation. She realizes that it's pointless to continue arguing with you further. Very well. If this is where our conversation ends, then so be it. I hope you find what you're looking for, though it seems like you've already found it in some twisted, callous way. Farewell.
Goodbye. I understand. Maybe it's just a burnout of me that I have recognized certain activities that characters do, and oh my god, fucking ugh. Even though it's an AI. No, I'm not. It's fucking oh, lemmes Melina. Let's find a cooler one. Oh, actually, no. Let's go with the Rennala. We try Melina later.